Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. You are watching At Home with Troy. I am Troy, and today's video, as you can probably tell from the title, is going to be a video about nutrition. So what I want to focus on today is how you can eat at a calorie deficit. Some really simple and easy tips that anyone can do. So you guys, let's get started. So you guys, I want to start with a disclaimer. I am not a currently practicing nutritionist. I was 10 years ago, before I got out of the service. That was my job in the Army. I was a 68 Mike, which is a nutritionist, and I helped soldiers that had any health issues with their diet, or any soldiers that were overweight. I helped them with diet plans, as well as exercise regimens to help them lose weight. Now, I'm not currently practicing, so before you change your diet or do anything drastic, you should definitely consult with your healthcare provider. Okay, you guys, for the first tip that I have for you to eat at a calorie deficit is to do a Walmart pickup or a Target pickup, or whatever your favorite grocery store is. Wherever you get your groceries, do a pickup. And the reason that I think that can help with having a calorie deficit diet is because you're not going up and down the aisles and getting things that you want to munch on, or things that aren't good for you. If you're just, on your computer, on your phone, just making a list, you just go by what's missing in your pantry, what's missing in the refrigerator, and then the people shop for you, and then you go pick it up. I know I do a lot of Walmart and Target pickups. I have a pretty good self-control when it comes to food, but I don't when it comes to shopping. So I will go up and down the aisle buying nail polish that I don't need, some toiletries, maybe some fingertip towels, just little cute things that you always find at Walmart and Target that I don't need to spend money on. So I know that Walmart pickup has really helped me as far as budgeting, but it can really help you with, eating at a calorie deficit, because you won't go up and down the aisles picking out things you don't need. And also, if things aren't in your house, you can't, stuff them in your face. You can't eat them. You can't overeat on Oreos if you don't have any in the house. So that is one thing that I think was really helpful with, a diet or trying to maintain your weight. Tip number 2 that I have is have your children eat like you eat. Now, if you are changing your diet drastically, something that your children definitely won't eat, then of course, this isn't a suggestion for you. If you have any medical issues where you have to change your diet drastically, then definitely, consult with your doctor. But in general, my children eat what I eat. They aren't really big on vegetables, but the vegetables that they do like, I buy a ton of. My children like rice cauliflower, and they like broccoli, and my youngest likes kale. The big ones don't, but my youngest ones like kale. So the things that they like, I buy a ton of, and there's absolutely nothing wrong, with having broccoli every night of the week. If your kids are going to eat it, then grab it. I know for me, there's a breakfast meal that my children really enjoy, that I enjoy too, that is definitely good for maintaining your weight or losing weight. They love boiled eggs. I have sausage links on the side, which is not super duper healthy, but it's not really bad as long as you have portion control. That is something that my children love, and it's also really easy to prepare. So you guys, for tip number 3, when you're eating out, I know this is a big thing. A lot of people, they want to eat out, or the family is out and about, and they think that it might ruin their diet, but just cut your meal in half. Most of the time when I go to any restaurant, their portion sizes are huge. Like, I've very rarely been to a restaurant where they give me a small amount and then I get an attitude because I paid all this money. Usually, the portion size are pretty big. So before you even eat your meal, cut it in half, get a to-go box as soon as they bring it to you, and then eat that. Just eat that half of a portion. And I also suggest you do the exact same thing with dessert. If they're going to bring you a slice of cake, usually whenever I go to a restaurant, it's about 3 layers. So, cut it in half, save the rest for later, share it with your partner, share it with your kids. But when you have a meal and you're eating out, the portion sizes 9 times out of 10 are way too big, and you should just cut them in half, have it for later. You don't waste your money, and you don't overeat. So you guys, for tip number 4, it is eat slowly. Now, I know you're like, how does that help me with a calorie deficit, eating less? Your brain takes about 15 minutes to tell your stomach that it is full. That's about how much time it takes to digest a good portion of food, 15 minutes. So within the first 5 minutes, if you're overeating and you're scarfing it all down, you're not going to get that full feeling till 15 minutes later. And even then, you're not going to be full, you're going to be stuffed. There's a huge difference in being stuffed and being full. We eat so that we aren't hungry. We should not be eating to get that lethargic feeling. Like, that's not good. You've probably overeaten if you feel like you're about to fall asleep on the couch, or if you just can't move, you probably stuffed yourself and you overate. So if you give yourself, about 15 minutes, if you eat slowly, don't shove it all down at once, then you won't overeat. Your brain will tell you, your stomach will tell your brain, hey, we're kind of full right now, and then you won't eat anymore. So you guys, my next tip is to not drink your calories. I'm the type of person that I would rather eat a piece of cheesecake than have a Coca-Cola. And sometimes when you're trying to eat at a calorie deficit, you can't do both. I'd prefer to eat my calories. I'd prefer to have something on my stomach. So a great way to not drink your calories is to get rid of soda, get rid of orange juice. I drink a ton of sparkling water, and it's also flavored. Some people might like it plain. I don't know if you do, but I don't. I like it flavored, the flavored sparkling water. That's a really big thing in my house, as well as having a water flavor. Now, what I use as far as the little powder packets are the 3 Trend nutritional powder packets. They're really great. They are low on calories, and you can drink something that's flavored, that's not just plain water, without having to worry about the calories. So you guys, tip number 5 is to cook for yourself. I think this is number 5. I can't remember what number we're on. Sorry, 5 or 6. But for my last tip, it's cook for yourself. If you were cooking a meal for yourself, it takes a lot of work. For me, like a typical meal that I might make would be meatloaf. I've defrosted the meat all day, and so after I'm done seasoning it, putting the breadcrumbs in, the egg, and I mush it all together, I gotta shape it, put it into the loaf pan, and then I'm probably gonna have mashed potatoes for the side. This is like a typical meal my family has. I've peeled the potatoes, and then I've washed them, I've peeled them, I've boiled them, then I've gotta mash them, then I gotta put the milk in with a little butter, a little salt, and a little pepper, and then whatever vegetable I'm having for the side, which would probably be simple, like I said, things that my kids like, probably like kale or broccoli. After you've made that meal, let me tell you, you're not going to feel like doing much else. It's pretty tiresome to cook from scratch and to do it on a consistent basis. And when you do that, you're not going to want to cook huge portions. You're not going to want to defrost 3 pounds of hamburger, for your family. I have a family of 5, and about 2 does it, so everyone's allowed to have a pretty decent sized portion. There might be a little bit, for, usually I don't have seconds, but my kids to have seconds. My spouse rarely eats seconds, so after you cook that amount of food and your family has eaten, and then you got to do the dishes, you're not really going to be motivated to cook in large portions. So the more you cook for yourself, and especially if you're doing it from scratch, it'll make you kind of tired, and you're just not going to put the effort into cooking all those extra portions. So that is a really great way to have a calorie deficit. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed these tips for eating at a calorie deficit, and also ways to maintain your weight. If you want any more information, please leave me some comments down below or any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.